The power outage hit our cramped Brooklyn apartment like a thief in the night, plunging everything into a velvet blackness that swallowed the city lights outside our window. I froze in the hallway, my heart pounding not from the sudden dark, but from the warm breath on my neck and the firm hand pulling me close. And then, lips soft, insistent, tasting of unspoken secrets met mine, shattering every assumption I'd clung to about my quiet roommate, the one I'd always pegged as straight as an arrow. My name is Alex Rivera, a 22-year-old graphic design student hustling through life in New York City, where dreams collide with reality on every crowded subway car. I'd moved into this 3-bedroom walk-up in Bushwick 6 months ago, desperate for affordable rent in a city that chews up budgets like cheap gum. My roommates: Jamie Thompson, the outgoing theater major with a flair for drama both on and off stage, and Ryan Patel, the reserved engineering grad student who buried himself in code and coffee, rarely uttering more than a grunt in greeting. From day one, Jamie latched onto me like a lifeline. He was openly gay, unapologetically fabulous, with his wild curly hair dyed electric blue and a wardrobe that screamed Broadway auditions. "Alex, darling, you're my spirit animal," he'd say, draping an arm over my shoulders during movie nights, his touch lingering a beat too long. I appreciated his energy, pulled me out of my introverted shell, but his clinginess started to suffocate. He'd text me incessantly when I was out, show up at my favorite coffee shop by coincidence, and once even crashed a date I had with a guy from Tinder, just protecting my bestie. He'd wink, but it felt possessive, like he was staking a claim I hadn't offered. Ryan, on the other hand, was the ghost in our machine. Half Indian, with sharp features inherited from his Mumbai-born parents and a quiet demeanor that made him blend into the background. He spent most evenings hunched over his laptop in the living room, earbuds in, world out. We'd exchanged maybe a dozen full conversations in those months, mostly about rent splits or whose turn it was to buy toilet paper. He dated girls occasionally, or so I assumed from the rare times he'd mention a study buddy named Sarah or Emily. Straight as they come, I thought, and that made him safe. No drama. No expectations. Just a reliable presence that grounded our chaotic household. But lately, cracks had started to show. It began with small things, Ryan catching my eye across the room during one of Jamie's over-the-top monologues, a faint smile tugging at his lips as if we shared a secret joke. Or the time I came home late from a failed hookup, nursing a bruised ego, and found him in the kitchen making tea. "Rough night?" he'd asked, sliding a mug my way without pressing for details. His voice was low, soothing, like a balm on my frayed nerves. I brushed it off roommate courtesy. Nothing more. One sweltering August evening, the tension boiled over. Jamie had organized a family dinner in our tiny kitchen, insisting we all bond over his homemade lasagna. As we sat around the rickety table, he leaned into me, his hand on my knee under the cloth. "Alex, tell Ryan about that hilarious story from class today," he cooed, his fingers tracing circles that sent uncomfortable shivers up my spine. I shifted away, forcing a laugh. "It's not that funny. Jamie, pass the salad." Ryan watched silently, his dark eyes flicking between us. Later, as I washed dishes to escape, he joined me at the sink. "You okay?" he murmured, drawing a plate with deliberate care. I nodded, but my voice cracked. "Yeah, just." "Jamie's a lot sometimes." He paused, then said softly, "You don't owe anyone your space, Alex. Not even friends." His words hung in the air, heavy with something unspoken. And for the first time, I really looked at him the way his jaw tightened, the subtle warmth in his gaze. But I pushed it down. Straight guy empathy. Right. The next week, Jamie's clinginess escalated. He confessed his feelings over coffee one morning, his eyes wide and pleading. "Alex, I think we're meant to be. We've got this connection, don't deny it." My stomach twisted. I liked him as a friend. But romance? No spark. "Jamie, I'm flattered, but I don't feel that way. Let's keep things platonic." He pouted, then hugged me tightly. "You'll come around. I know it." I started dodging him, staying late at the library, crashing at friends' places. Our apartment felt like a minefield. Ryan noticed. Of course. One night, as I snuck in past midnight, he was on the couch, illuminated by his screen's glow, avoiding home base. He asked, not looking up. I sighed, collapsing beside him. Something like that. "Jamie's intense." He closed his laptop, turning to face me. "He's hurting. But that's no excuse. You deserve better." His hand brushed mine accidentally, or was it? Sending a jolt through me. I pulled back, confused. What was this? As summer faded into fall, the city cooled, but our dynamics heated up. Jamie backed off a little, but his jealousy simmered. He'd make snide comments about Ryan. "Mr. Mysterious over there. Always so aloof. But he's hiding something." I'd laugh it off, but doubt crept in. Ryan began opening up, sharing stories of his strict upbringing, how his parents expected him to marry a nice Indian girl and settle down. "They don't know the real me," he'd say, his voice laced with pain. I'd listen, drawn to his vulnerability, the way he trusted me with fragments of his soul. One rainy afternoon, I found an old photo album in Ryan's room while borrowing a charger had left it open. Pictures of him in high school, arm around a guy at prom, both beaming. My heart raced. Was he? No, probably just friends. But the seed was planted. That night, a storm knocked out the power grid across the neighborhood. Candles flickered in the living room as the three of us huddled, playing cards by flashlight. Jamie was his usual self, flirting shamelessly with me. But Ryan's eyes burned holes through the tension. When Jamie excused himself to bed early, claiming a headache, Ryan and I stayed up, talking in whispers. "You ever feel like you're living someone else's life?" he asked, his knee bumping mine. I nodded, my pulse quickening. "All the time." The darkness emboldened us. Confessions spilled out. My past heartbreaks, his hidden crushes on guys in college that he'd buried deep. "I thought I was straight," he admitted, voice trembling. "But then I met you. Alex, you make me question everything." Before I could process, his hand found mine in the black void. The kiss came sudden, electric, a dam breaking, lips crashing, hands exploring, years of repression unleashing in that shadowed embrace. It was messy, passionate, tasting of rain and revelation. We pulled apart, breathless. "Ryan, what about Jamie? What about everything?" He cupped my face. "We'll figure it out. But this feels right." The power surged back on, lights blinding us. Jamie stood in the doorway, eyes wide with shock and hurt. What the hell? Chaos erupted. Jamie's accusations flew like daggers. "You were dodging me for him." "The straight guy." Ryan stepped forward, voice steady. "I'm not straight, Jamie. And this isn't about you." Tears streamed down Jamie's face. "I loved you first. Alex. How could you?" I felt like the villain in my own story, torn between guilt and the undeniable pull toward Ryan. We talked through the nitrile. Honest. Jamie's pain was real. He'd projected his loneliness onto me. "I need space," he said finally, packing a bag. "I'll crash with a friend." In the aftermath, Ryan and I navigated the wreckage. Our first real date was awkward, a walk through Central Park. Hands intertwined tentatively. I was scared. He confessed under the autumn leaves. Of disappointing my family. Of admitting who I am. I squeezed his hand. You're not alone anymore. But doubts lingered. Ryan's parents called weekly, pressing about girlfriends. When are you bringing someone home? His mom would ask. He'd deflect. But the strain showed. One evening, over takeout Chinese, he broke down. What if they reject me? Alex, what if I lose everything? I held him, whispering assurances. Love isn't about losing, it's about gaining truth. Our relationship deepened. Stolen moments turning into shared dreams. We explored the city together, late-night diners in Times Square. Quiet picnics in Prospect Park. Ryan's quiet strength complemented my creativity. He coded apps while I designed logos. Our worlds merging. Jamie returned after a week. Cooler but distant. I'm happy for you guys, he said stiffly, though his eyes betrayed lingering ache. We set boundaries, roommate rules, to rebuild trust. Slowly, he healed, even dating someone new from his theater troupe. As winter blanketed the city in snow, Ryan faced his truth. Over Christmas break, he came out to his parents via video call. My hand off screen for support. Tears. Questions. But ultimately, tentative acceptance. We love you, son, his dad said gruffly. Just be happy. Back in Brooklyn, our apartment transformed. No more dodging, just open hearts. One snowy night, as flurries danced outside, Ryan pulled me into another kiss. This one under the warm glow of string lights. You dodged the clingy one, he teased, but caught the quiet storm. I laughed, pulling him closer. Best dodge of my life. Our story wasn't a fairy tale, no perfect bows. Jamie moved out in spring for a Broadway gig, leaving well wishes and a hug. Ryan and I got our own place in Queens, building a life brick by brick. Through it all, we learned that love sneaks up in the dark, but thrives in the light. It's about embracing the unexpected, forgiving the mess, and choosing authenticity over assumption. In a world that often demands labels, we found freedom in fluidity. Ryan's journey from straight, silenced to proud partner inspired me to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights at my university, turning personal pain into communal power. And as we walked hand in hand through pride parades, flags waving high, I realized, sometimes, the quiet ones roar the loudest, and the dodges lead straight to destiny. The end came not with fanfare, but with quiet certainty. On our one-year anniversary, under the Brooklyn Bridge's twinkling lights, Ryan knelt. Alex Rivera, will you marry me? The ring caught the city glow. Simple and sincere. Tears blurred my yes, sealing our chapter with hope. Life's twists clinginess dodged. Kisses claimed taught us resilience. In America's melting pot, our love stood as a testament. Humanity wins when hearts open wide. The morning after our anniversary proposal, I woke to sunlight streaming through our Queens apartment window. Ryan's arm draped over me like a promise. His steady breathing grounded me, a far cry from the turbulent days in Bushwick. But even in bliss, shadows of doubt crept in. Would our happiness last? Or was it built on fragile revelations? Work called. I headed to my graphic design internship in Manhattan, sketching logos on the subway while replaying the night's magic. Ryan's proposal had been spontaneous, born from a riverside walk where we'd shared dreams of travel and family. I want forever with you, he'd said, eyes shining. My yes was instinctive. But now, reality nagged. Marriage meant facing families, societal stares, the weight of commitment. Back home that evening, Ryan greeted me with dinner spaghetti carbonara, his specialty. Nervous about telling your folks? He asked. Reading my mind. My parents, conservative Latinos in Miami, had accepted my sexuality begrudgingly. They'll come around, I said, though uncertainly nod. We video called them together, Ryan's hand in mine. Mom's eyes widened at the news. Marriage. So soon. Dad grunted approval, but added, as long as you're happy. Mijo. Relief washed over us, mingled with joy. Jamie texted congratulations, seen Ryan's post on social media. You too deserve it. Miss our chaos. His message warmed me. Time had healed wounds. He was thriving on Broadway now, in a stable relationship with a director named Marcus. Come see my show? He invited. We planned to, bridging old ties. But not all was smooth. Ryan's job at a tech startup demanded long hours, leaving me alone with my thoughts. One night, as he coded late, I scrolled through old photos, stumbling on that high school prom pic again, the one with the guy. Curiosity piqued. I asked about it casually over breakfast. That was Liam, Ryan admitted, cheeks flushing. My first crush. We kissed once, but I panicked, pushed him away, told everyone I was straight. The confession stung a little. Why hadn't he shared sooner? I was ashamed. He explained. Grew up hearing my uncles joke about those people. Took meeting you to face it. We talked deep into the night, unraveling layers. His vulnerability strengthened us, turning potential rift into deeper bond. Spring brought change. We attended our first Pride as an engaged couple, marching with friends under rainbow banners. The energy was electric chants. Music, a sea of acceptance. But amid celebration, a protest erupted nearby. Counter-demonstrators hurled slurs. Ryan tensed, gripping my hand. This is why we fight, he whispered. Later, we volunteered at a local LGBTQ+ center, counseling youth struggling with identity. Giving back infused our love with purpose. Wedding planning added stress. Venue hunts in the Hamptons. Cake tastings in Sohofen. But overwhelming. Arguments flared. I wanted intimate. He dreamed grand. It's our day? I'd snap. Not a spectacle. He'd counter. I want to shout our love from rooftops. Compromise came. A cozy ceremony in Central Park. Reception at a Brooklyn loft. Family dynamics tested us. My sister flew in, ecstatic. But Ryan's extended relatives from India were hesitant. His aunt called. Voice stern, marriage to a man. What will people say? Ryan stood firm. It's my life. Auntie. Love is love. Her eventual RSVP yes was a victory. Small but significant. Summer heat mirrored our passion. Vacations to Fire Island offered escape beach days. Hand-holding sunsets. One evening, as waves lapped, Ryan traced patterns on my back. You saved me, Alex. From hiding. Tears pricked. We saved each other. Back in the city, a scare hit. Ryan's startup faced layoffs. Stress mounted. He withdrew, echoing his old quiet self. What if I can't provide? He'd worry. I reassured. We're a team. We'll weather it. He landed a better gig at Google. Relief palpable. Adversity forged us stronger. As fall approached, wedding jitters peaked. Bachelor parties, mine with friends bar hopping in the village. Ryan's low-key gaming night. Hangovers aside, excitement built. Rehearsal dinner brought everyone together, Jamie toasting us tearfully to dodging the wrong paths and finding the right ones. The big day dawned crisp. In Bethesda Terrace, under golden leaves, we exchanged vows. Alex, you turned my silence into song. Ryan said, voice breaking. Ryan, your kiss in the dark lit my world. I replied. Ring slipped on, sealing eternity. Honeymoon in Hawaii beaches, hikes, endless lovemaking. But real life beckoned back to jobs, routines. We adopted a rescue dog, Milo, adding fur to our family. Challenges arose, a homophobic neighbor's glare. But we countered with kindness, hosting block parties to foster community. Years blurred. Our story inspired others. Ryan mentored queer teens online, sharing his coming-out tale. I designed pro-LGBTQ+ campaigns, amplifying voices. Anniversaries marked growth from that dark kiss to bright futures. One quiet evening, as Milo snored at our feet, Ryan pulled me close. Best decision ever kissing you that night. I smiled. Dodging led to destiny. Our love, born in shadows, bloomed in light, a beacon of hope, proving that authenticity triumphs. Connections heal, and every heart deserves its truth. Reflecting on our journey, I often marveled at how a single blackout kiss unraveled lives. But deeper currents ran, societal pressures, internal battles, the quest for belonging in a divided America. Our marriage wasn't just personal, it symbolized progress amid backlash. Post-wedding, we settled into domesticity. Mornings, coffee brewing. Kisses goodbye. Evenings, cooking disasters turned laughs. But external storms brewed. News headlines screamed anti-LGBTQ+ bills in states like Florida and Texas. How can this still happen? Ryan fumed. Scrolling feeds. We donate. Protest. Turning anger to action. Friends envied our bond. But it wasn't flawless. Infertility discussions arose. We wanted kids. Adoption agencies. Surrogacy options swirled. Doubts, are we ready? But love propelled us. We started the process. Attending seminars. Building a nursery. Jamie visited often. Now a Broadway star. You two are goals, he'd say, sharing his own engagement news. Reconciliation complete. Our trio reformed as allies. Ryan's family evolved too. His parents visited. Awkward at first, but warming. Mom cooked biryani. Dad bonded over baseball. Proud of you, Beta, he'd say. Cultural bridges built. One meal at a time. Professionally, I launched my design firm, specializing in inclusive branding. Ryan climbed tech ranks, advocating for diversity. Together, we spoke at conferences, sharing our story. Love defies labels. But trials tested. A health scare. Ryan's chest pains led to stress diagnosis. Slow down, doctors urged. I nursed him. Roles reversing. You can't leave me. I teased through tears. Recovery strengthened resolve. Balance work. Life. Love. Community involvement deepened. We fostered a queer teen, Tyler, runaway from a rejecting home. His pain mirrored Ryan's past. You're safe here, we assured. Months later, as he reunited with family, gratitude flowed. You showed me hope. Seasons cycled. Our first child, a daughter via surrogacy, arrived. Elena, with Ryan's eyes and my smile. Parenthood transformed, sleepless nights, boundless joy. She's our miracle, Ryan whispered, cradling her. As Elena grew, we navigated raising her in a progressive bubble amid national divides. School board fights over LGBTQ+ curricula hit close. We attended meetings. Voices raised. Our families matter. Personal growth continued. I confronted my avoidance patterns, dodging not just Jamie, but emotions. Therapy helped. Ryan joined sessions, unpacking his repression. We're works in progress, he'd say. Anniversaries became traditions, revisiting the bridge, renewing vows informally. To more dark kisses, we'd toast. One winter, a crisis. Jamie's partner left him heartbroken. He crashed with us. Vulnerability raw. How do you make it work? He asked. Honesty. Forgiveness. Ryan replied. We supported his healing. Full circle. Elena's first pride, at 5. Waving a flag. Asking questions. Why rainbows? Daddy. For love in all colors. I explained. Her innocence fueled our fight. As years passed, gray hairs appeared, but passion endured. Retirement dreams, a cabin upstate. Travels abroad. Wherever with you. Ryan said. In quiet moments. I'd trace his hand, remembering that blackout. What if the power never went out? Fate would have found another way. He'd smile. Our legacy, Elena. Now a teen activist. Mint's thriving. A book I wrote about our journey. Inspiring thousands. In America's tapestry, our thread wove resilience. From dodging to embracing. We proved love conquers. Humanity endures. And every kiss in the dark can ignite a lifetime of light. But stories don't end, they evolve. As Elena entered college, mirroring our youthful days, we faced empty nest blues. Miss her already. Ryan sighed. Packing her dorm. She chose NYU. Staying close. Her major in social justice, a nod to our influence. Our 50s brought reflection. Health routines. Annual checkups proactive after Ryan's scare. We traveled, Europe, Asia, revisiting Ryan's roots in India. His family welcomed us warmly now. Cultural barriers faded. Activism persisted. With marriage equality secure, but threats looming. We lobbied in D.C. Testimonies shared. Our love story started in shadows, didn't force others back there. Jamie, now a Tony winner, dedicated a show to us. To my first loves who taught me real love waits. Personal milestones, our 20th anniversary. Renewed vows with Elena officiating. Friends, family gathered, a testament to bonds forged. Challenges, Ryan's startup venture failed. Financial strain hit. We'll rebuild, I assured, dipping into savings. He pivoted to teaching. Passion reignited. Adversity reminded. Partnership means shared loads. Grandparenthood loomed. Elena announced her engagement to a woman. Sarah. Like fathers. Like daughter. She joked. Pride swelled. Our openness paved her path. In twilight years, we moved to a cozy Hudson Valley home. Garden blooming like our love. Evenings, porch swings. Reminiscing. That clingy roommate Dodge led here. Ryan chuckled. Health declined slowly. Ryan's arthritis. My vision fade but spirits high. Every ache worth it. He'd say. One autumn night. Power flickered echoing our start. In darkness. We kissed. Sparks undimmed. Still the quiet one who stole my heart. I whispered. Ryan passed peacefully at 78. Surrounded by love. Grief gutted me. But legacy comforted Elena's family. Our foundation's impact. I lived on. Writing memoirs. Speaking truths. At 85, joining him felt like coming home. Our story, a ripple in humanity's ocean. Proving love's power to heal. Unite. Transcend. From a dark kiss to eternal light, dodge wisely. Embrace fully. And let love lead.